How's it going, garden people? Welcome to the Hidden Gardens. Today we're going to finish up the spring pruning with 2 butterfly bushes and 2 Caryopteris. Now you may notice that I'm cutting things back left-handed. However, I am not left-handed, but I did just have surgery on my right arm, and that's going to take a little bit of healing. So I was able to get out here and get things done, but I had to do it with mainly my left hand, so some of the camera work may be a little shaky as well. But I was happy to get out here and get things accomplished and do what I can do. So first up is this bicolor butterfly bush. The growth that you're seeing has actually stayed throughout the winter, so we didn't really get extremely cold for all of this to die back, but we do get cold enough that we do get snow. It's definitely a cold area, but my zone 7 doesn't get as cold as like a zone 5 would get, where all of this growth would absolutely die off. This winter was a fairly warm winter, at least warm enough that it didn't completely kill all the foliage back. Butterfly bushes are generally in the last round of pruning for spring, usually because that way you can see where the buds are kind of coming out, and that'll give you an idea as to where to cut them back. You don't necessarily have to cut butterfly bushes back, but if you don't, then they become what's like a second story plant. In other words, all the blooms are like really high up in the plant. So if you want the blooms to be more down low, then you give it a little bit of a haircut at the beginning of spring, and that results in blooms lower on the plant. I was also able to cut back the dying half of these Japanese hollies. There's 2 of them that I wanted to take care of because it was just dying out, and we'll see if these plants kind of fill in and recover. If not, I'll replace them. Next up is this Summer Skies butterfly bush. Beautiful, beautiful, pretty light purple blooms, as you can see. Didn't bloom very well in this particular area that I had it in, so I did transplant it to the area that it's in now, and it should get a little bit more sun and hopefully bloom a lot better than it did last year. But still a very pretty plant just in the foliage itself. As you can see, it's variegated and it's super pretty. Alright, all done cutting that one back, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this one hopefully thrive in this spot and bloom all sorts of pretty blooms this summer. Next up is this Beyond Midnight Caryopteris, and I wasn't very impressed with its performance this past year. In fact, I'm not even sure if the plant itself is really fully alive. It looked like it was struggling last year, but it did, however, put out some roots on one of its stems, so I may very well put that in a pot and see if I can get a new plant out of that. But as far as this plant is concerned, I may very well just pull it out. I just didn't this day because I was here cutting it back, so I cut back what I felt was in the way. As you can see, like I said, it was on the struggle bus already. So this plant may still get pulled, but for now at least it's cut back. And while I was over here, I took care of this other Japanese holly that also had half of it dying out. So hopefully these plants will kind of recover and just the one stem left will fill out. Next up is this Caryopteris. Bluebeard is the variety, and it's beautiful. This one's been in the ground for about 3, maybe 4 gardening seasons so far, and I absolutely adore this plant. It's so pretty. It blooms at the end of summer when most of the things are kind of petering out throughout the garden. This one is just full on strong blooming, and the amount of bees that flock to this plant, it's absolutely insane. I mean, I have on my shorts, I show this plant a couple of times, and there's always bees on it. There's never really a time that bees aren't on this plant in the middle of it blooming during the day. It's absolutely amazing. So I did a light prune on this Caryopteris last year, but this year I definitely went a lot lower and a lot harder on this plant and cut it back down to about a foot and a half off of the ground. But Caryopteris bloom on new wood, so all the blooms that are going to occur this year are going to grow right up from this plant. So while it looks a little drastic for both the Caryopteris and the butterfly bushes, I have no worries that they're both going to come out and bloom spectacularly this year. So I'm so looking forward to that, and I can't wait for all the pretty blooms that are going to occur this year. All right, all set. And while I was recording this, I realized that I missed a butterfly bush out in the front garden. So after I finish recording this, I'm going to go out and cut that down real quick. And I might get this Miss Lemonabelia. I might cut off a few straggly weird branches that are sticking up from it, but other than that, all the cutbacks are done for this gardening season, and I'm so looking forward to things coming back and blooming and it really being a fun gardening year. So I hope that this video has inspired you to get out into your garden and continue along your gardening journey, whatever that looks like for you, and thank you for coming along on mine.